guys, welcome to the channel. It's 𝗙𝗶𝗍𝗀 as always, and today I'm with this lovely gentleman. Yeah, from Nigeria.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, guys!
She said that Nigeria.
I've been waiting to have like people that I can engage with and have conversations with, because all the time it's always my opinions against everybody else, and people feel like I'm over putting my own opinions out. So yeah, I have my brothers here tonight.
Yes, sir.
Or today.
And
do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'll start. My name is 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗃. I'm an actor, dancer, and event personnel.
Okay.
amazing. Solomon, I kind of sound engineer, producer, working for Yamaha Music Golf, but that's an entire.
Alright guys, how you doing? My name is 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗃, a freelance designer and an entrepreneur actually. Co-host of This Is How We Feel podcast. I know she's going to talk about our podcast later, and you guys should subscribe to the channel. This Is How We Feel podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get on this. I'm
Well,
glad to be here today.
You've had guys, you have some professional African talent right here, educated, thank you. And yeah, in this video, okay, we are going to play this clip, and I would like to get some of their opinions about it, so that you guys can also to listen to other people on the opinions they have.
80% of African Americans, stop pretending, cannot afford to come to Africa.
Wow, really?
I'm saying they cannot afford. They may want it in their heart, but America has them shoes, have them bootstrapped, tied. Because guess what? They have to pay mortgage every month. They have to pay their car note every month. They have to pay their insurance every month. They can't even watch DSTV unless they pay every month.
Wow.
So how are you going to have money to say, let me go back and learn about my family, my history, my roots one every month? You have to worry about, I got to pay this. I got to pay. When do you get a break to think?
Wow.
But that's the system. This allows me to control you left, right, because you never have time to stop and say, oh, how do I work on this, or where do I go from here? You don't have that time. When you live in America, most people, if they're being honest, on the first of the month, from the first to about the 20th, 25th of the month is when you finish paying your bills.
Wow. Wow.
You probably got about maybe 5 to 7 days in a month that you can actually think without thinking about paying the bill.
How do we become economically free as Africans and Ghanaians?
Well, one of the first things is we have to realize that the only people that's going to have our back is the African Americans.
Wow.
You see, that's the synergy that we have got to understand. We have got to go get our cousins, our siblings, because that's the only hope we have. If you don't believe me, let's talk about it. Has China not been to Africa?
Yes.
Has America not been to Africa?
Yeah.
Has Europe, Dutch? Has not every nation, every race been to Africa?
They have,
And what have they done? They have come and they have gone back.
Right, yes.
Everything that you do with them, they take back eventually to their nation and prosper their people. They've come now and taken our cocoa, taking it to China, and now China's growing cocoa all over the place, right? The African American has no nation. He has no home. This is his home. That's your only hope for economic viability, which is why it's very important that we grow with the diaspora. Because they're the only one that can come here, put money in you, and not take it anywhere. They have nowhere to take it to. So guess what they do when they come here? They leave it here. And we have got to find ways to continue to build that bridge such that more of our brothers and sisters are become more awoke. And trust me, it is a heck of a fight, because that American system
It's strong.
is strong, Papa.
So the video that I've shown you guys is about African Americans, because the channel, or my channel, is basically about connecting the diaspora with Africa, or just African issues or our problems, our developments, especially African descendants, you know, Europe, Asia, Caribbean. And this is the issue of Africa, where we need to develop. What is your take on that before we get into the African Americans?
So, I think, speaking because most of us, I think all of us on this discussion are somewhere involved in this matter, because we also represent a new generation of diasporans, right? and the perspectives, it becomes a little bit nuanced. My opening thoughts concerning this matter is, I really like the idea of people who are of African descent thinking of Africa in that light of, okay, I need to go back here, I feel connected to this place, I need to go there, find out what the situation is, find out what the problems are, find out how I can contribute to the development of the society. I think that is a wonderful thing and one glorious thing, but in doing so, I think they need to also understand that there is going to be a very steep learning curve, and there are a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Right? One of the reasons why we still feel the need to leave Africa is because things are not so great in major parts of the place, I think, for the majority of people.
Yeah.
And that means that the conditions, the kind of conditions the government don't support this kind of initiatives or this kind of line of thinking with regards to citizens. And this is actually across board in Africa. I would want them to do this, but I will also caution that that they understand that there is a learning curve, and there's going to be culture shock.
Yeah,
that's going to be like obviously yes. But ultimately, we want you guys to come again, because our growth is as a collective society. It makes us stronger. If this is your home, as in you basically look like me. Yes, you're not raised as an African, but you are an African by virtue of design. Yeah. So, and your being here has made you drift, and this is your history. We still have that roots, and we are still connected to you. So if you feel that connection too, do come back home.
That's nice. Yeah. That's nice. What do you think about it?
What someone said kind of makes a whole lot of sense. Ever since they've been coming, I think the ones that have been here and have left have experienced everything that he said. It's quite different, right? Like I can't really speak to every other country or anything, but I can speak for Nigeria. Nigeria is this very exciting place and a very accepting place, Yeah. And also, while that is happening, there's still like tidbits of craziness that happens there, yes. Which is
we should be expecting.
We should be expecting.
There's 200 million people, 200 million large people. That's expected.
Yeah.
If you put that on statistics, there's going to be a lot of people who actually fall.
And what we speak what? Last time I checked, this was actually crazy for me to understand because I googled this. I used to think it was about 50 languages before, but I found that we have over 500.
Yes, actually 500.
Have you come to Uganda, guys? We have more also.
Exactly. See, I didn't even know this because for me, I lived in Nigeria almost all my life.
Yeah.
And finding out was mind blowing.
Let's speak specifically to the Black
American communities.
Yeah. Gun violence and stuff. I do not know the statistics, and I'm sure it's not as bad as media is being portrayed. But their system that actually because the credit card system and basically the credit system that operates in America is made so that they can be able to invest in ideas, get funding for those ideas, get like the entire system in place and be able to build wealth. But that system has very consciously and very meticulously marginalized those groups, including Black Americans, Latinos, and several other minority groups. Yeah. That same system that's supposed to work for them, that's supposed to actually enrich them, is supposed to promote them.
I feel like it's made there to prison them.
Yes, marginalize them and kept them in sometimes massive debt, sometimes very poor conditions of living, and sometimes also the human element. Some of these guys, because of the system, the educational system is not so great. Their districts and their houses don't get as much funding to actually fund good teachers to come to the schools, so they get substandard learning. They do not think properly, and then they think that they don't have necessary tools to be able to build wealth, so they resort to violence. And I get the problem. Yeah. I get the problem.
But what should they do? According to this clip, the guy said a lot of them, like 80%, or he said 85% of them, cannot afford to come back into the continent, even if they want to escape it.
Invest in Africa.
Yeah.
I know you might not have a lot. I mean, you don't have to come to Africa almost immediately. I mean, you can come and visit if you can, but the best way I think they'll be able to escape the kind of bondage that they, according to what this man said with the whole mortgage and everything, is
invest in Africa.
Invest in Africa. We literally have, well, thankfully the dollars at this point for them is big when you convert it to our currency back home. It's huge. Take a little of that. Start a business. Start something. Invest in it.
Find a group of people.
Invest in them. Empower them.
Very beautiful idea. Like very, very beautiful. Because I was going to say that again. But now, remember that most of them would not want to, because of the system you want to come and invest in is not working.
It's a risk.
What I will say is, even me, I will be honest with you. Me, and I'm living in America, and because from your question and what the guy said is that they cannot afford, right? I don't know what he means by they cannot afford. Probably
too many debts, too many loans.
So now, if I'm living in America and I'm working, I'm an Igbo man. Sorry, I'm an Igbo man. They know how they manage money. I don't know about any other person, but when I put up my finances, manage it well, be able to start up a company, at least find a way to write off tax. I don't like that because it still falls back to knowing your root. Because if you know your root and understand how they operate, because majority of people who the black Americans, African Americans that are doing what I'm saying now, because I know there are a lot of people doing it, and people who know that, hey, I'm from this root, I mean this guy, so this is how it is. And if you know your root and realize that, hey, it's not gone thing, you just have to be smart. You will plan well. But majority of them who are there stuck, not doing anything, don't even know that cannot afford to come back, are people who have been on that route of gone.
But it's not for everybody. You're making it seem like
no, it's not everybody. This is probably I feel like it's a small minority.
It's a very tiny.
That's very small minority.
I think
those
you're
ones.
saying it because that's what the
that's what the media shows you. But I feel like it's a small minority.
That we Africans need to get away from our heads. So when you come out and you're like guns, they should, like, every sentence is about gun. It's like it mentally got into your head that that's what they do. So this is the gap I feel that we should, as Africans, try to be more lenient.
I feel like we should need a lot of education.
Yes.
Their reliability is not as, I don't think, because that's actually one of the things that causes some of the protests that you protest and some of the agitations that you see in the black community. They're not really being portrayed, and their society is not really being portrayed properly in the media, and that's true. And also, they are facing and they're dealing with a counterpart that runs the system. So they look like jailers in their own system. So it's like they don't have much of a say as to what governs the life. And to be honest, the struggle that they go through is one that I wouldn't wish for anybody. And I know it's a difficult thing to navigate. And I have much empathy for them.
So if he's saying that they cannot afford because of the situation that they are in, or maybe then you can know the area. Again, like I said, some of these people wants to invest in Africa, so that they can, find where they are and all that, then invest there, so that they will have, okay, this is home. And as much as majority of them where they are now are home for them. If you ask them, if you bring up anything about history and they want to know their roots or whatever, they tell, man, I don't want to go that route. I just want to leave. We're all going to die one day. That statement. So having, like you said, us doing our own part, if they find out, like, let's say someone like, let's assume Akon, or maybe a random person, let me not use someone that's not popular, and realizes that he's from Nigeria. Then the stuff happening in Nigeria, he will be discouraged to even come back to come and invest.
I don't think so.
Trust me, he will.
I don't think so. You know why I don't think so? It's because I feel like at this point, they are tired. Let's be honest. Like the way we Africans are now tired of our leaders. And whatever they do, whatever they say, we are like, F you guys. So them too, even if they see Nigeria is having trouble, or Ghana, they're going to get on a flight if they can and come to Ghana.
And as much as I know there's a lot of opportunities in Nigeria. It's
Yeah.
just bad government.
Yes.
And there's a lot of opportunities in other African countries.
Yeah.
Just that we are not looking in our eyes is we see too much. We focus on outside. We are not looking around ourselves.
Yeah.
Imagine
So
you
now
try-
you're
not loving
bringing that
yourself.
we Africans are now a problem also.
Of
We are,
course,
to help them.
we are all
To help
our
them.
problem.
we are our problem.
too.
Yeah.
It stems from like everything really. It's like bad government is like lack of exposure for some people, especially back home. You know, you have instances in some African countries where you can have people coming to like you move from a different state to another state, and then you have people from this state saying, "Oh, we don't want you here because you're going to take our jobs, or you are trying to take our place and stuff like that." There's stuff like that happening. So we are our own problem.
Yeah.
We need to sort our own thing
And then
first.
we want to connect with our
Exactly. We need to sort our stuff first before we even start to think about getting people to come and visit or invest.
Yeah.
I mean, people are already starting to invest, just bit by bit. 𝗖𝗄𝗿 is opening a film studio in Ghana,
Yeah.
and stuff like that is happening. It's just, first off, let's fix our own thing before we start, trying to get people to come home, because we take them and bring them here and they see how crazy we are. I mean, they're going to run back. They're already dealing with that over there.
So
the guy said in the video that if we Africans want to develop, at the end of the day, we need Caribbeans, we need African Americans, we need African descendants.
Yeah.
In a sense that when you look
Thank
at the
you. That was
black
the word I was trying to
community,
find. African descendants.
yes, when you
So
look
need to
into
find-
the black community worldwide, let's be real, it's African Americans with the money.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it or not,
I mean,
they have the money to invest into the continent, right? But then it shouldn't be on their own side for us to just say, "Oh, guys, come into the continent and invest."
They're not-
also
gotta take care of our stuff
They're
first.
not
Yeah, we
actually
have
the
to
only
do
people
our
that have the
job.
money.
Gotta do ours
They're
first.
not actually the only people that have the money. There are some
Well,
African
statistically, they spend more money in the world than any other black
They're the ones that have the
Yeah.
most investment.
Yes, they have the most wealth, right?
Yeah.
So if they
I
can,
mean, I
like
don't
the
know
man
statistically,
said,
I don't know.
Yeah.
go on Google is like, the easiest. So when they come into the continent, I believe, like the guy said, since some of them believe they don't have a nation, which to me I find kind of weird, because if you look into the whole world, it's only us that look like you guys in the whole planet. So if you have no nation, when Africa is like, you look in the mirror, I look like you, it's just it's another story. So when they invest in the continent, they leave the money there. They're not going to take it back to America to do what? Because they know if they do, they're going to have to spend more money.
Tax.
Taxes, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where we need you guys
To invest.
to come into the continent. But then again, we Africans need to do our job.
We need to start from our
Yes,
homes.
we need to really start.
What is that one again? Charity begins at home?
Y'all should go watch Wakanda 1 till the last one.
So guys, we'll continue with part 2 in the next video, and please subscribe to the channel, support the guys. They are linking in the bio of their podcast, How It Feels. Yeah, let's support African talent, African content creators, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.